Quick Airbnb update from the information, which has been on top of the whole Airbnb saga in this year of COVID from the very beginning. The information has gotten their hands on some documents that show that Airbnb burned $1.2 billion between mid-2019 and mid-2020. You might remember that Airbnb had ramped up their marketing spend in anticipation of an IPO, which would probably have happened this past spring or summer if not for the pandemic. But then the pandemic came, and then the biggest portion of that cash burn came in Q1 of this year as Airbnb rushed to issue refunds. Quoting the information, the cash drain wiped away more than a third of what the company had on hand as of March 2019, financial documents seen by the information show. The biggest portion of the cash burn came in the first quarter of this year when the company had to dole out travel refunds as COVID-19 broke out, underscoring how the pandemic depleted Airbnb's reserves. The documents provide the fullest picture to date of Airbnb's financial situation ahead of its initial public offering plan for later this fall. The company does still have a significant cash pile. That's partly because the travel giant borrowed nearly $2 billion in April at high interest rates amid escalating losses. Thanks to the debt, Airbnb ended June with $4.1 billion in cash, cash equivalents, and marketable securities. The pandemic has pummeled Airbnb and other travel businesses, and for a time it put Airbnb's long-brewing plans to go public into doubt. Airbnb's revenue tumbled 72% in the second quarter compared with the year earlier period to $335 million. But the public debut is now back on track. Airbnb executives have suggested that a rebound in close-to-home travel has bolstered the company's outlook. Before the pandemic, the company had been planning on going public via a direct listing in which it would list existing shares on the stock market, but wouldn't sell new shares to raise cash. Airbnb instead is pursuing an IPO looking to raise $3 billion, Reuters reported last week, which would imply a valuation of around $30 billion. The company is expected to use that money in part to pay off the debt, according to investors and analysts. Airbnb declined to comment, end quote.